This is my underwear basket, and that is an Edmonton Oilers jersey. And this is our messy room, and why am I telling you this information? Can you see what's happening here? She's so cute. Look at this dog. Look at this dog. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chloe, and today I'm here to try to vlog. This is not my normal video shooting setup, but I'm really tired and I'm on the floor in our bedroom, and this is what's gonna work today, because this is where we're at and we're just gonna meet each other where we're at. I am filming this introduction to this vlog after I've already filmed the vlog. I'm gonna try to stay like neutral, but basically I was having a really excellent reading month at the beginning of January. I was knocking out these like 5-star, 4.5-star books, and I was feeling, dare I say, a little bit overconfident. So I think I can like be a little bit more risky and throw a wrench, one might say, in my reading for the month of January, which is risky because I do feel like, you know, you want to have a good reading month in January. You want to set yourself up. I decided that I would set myself a challenge where I looked at all of the books that I currently own that are on my physical shelves and looked to see which ones were rated the worst, and I would read those. And I came up with 3. Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Trombley, 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl by Mona Awad, who was also the author of Bunny, and Diary of an Oxygen Thief by Anonymous. These books all have, I think, between like a 3 and a 3.25-ish rating on Goodreads, which is bad. Like, that's not a good rating on that website. See if these surprised me, why they were rated so badly, maybe if I managed to find a new favorite in there. I'm just gonna bring you through a week in my life where I read some poorly rated books, give you my thoughts on them. You'll probably get some dog footage in there because I am who I am. Enjoy the ride. I know I sure did. I would say that you're making it like a little bit hard to concentrate. Just like a little bit though. Wow, that's a lot. It's a lot. Hi friends, it's me. It is dark outside, the heat is on, so it's pretty loud in here, and I've got like zit stuff on my face, but I'm over halfway done this book and I have yet to provide any update on it, so I thought I would hop in. What have we got? We've got a family. Eric and Andrew, 2 husbands, and their daughter Wen. They're at a cabin on like summer vacation type thing, and these strangers wielding these horrifying homemade weapons appear at their cabin and tell them that they need to let them in because they have a conversation that they have to have and that some difficult decisions are going to be made, but they are not there to hurt them. They just need to have a little chat. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how many other updates I give on this book, I don't really think that I can give much more of the plot than that without kind of ruining the book. Yeah, it's pretty slow moving. Like, I'm on page 150 and not a ton has happened. You get kind of a lot of backstory and you're alternating between Eric and Andrew and Wen's point of views, and it's, I don't know enough about English grammar to tell you like the tense that it's in, but it's like Eric sits up in the chair, Eric thinks about this, like it's like present third person. Is that, yeah, I don't know, let's not have that conversation. But yeah, I am enjoying it so far. I have had quite a few like, oh my god moments. It's going in some directions that I didn't really expect it to go. I am into it. I do feel like this is a book where the ending could really dictate how the rating goes. You know what I mean? It is not yet apparent to me why it is so horribly rated, so stay tuned. This really reminds me in some ways, like not identical, but of the movie The Strangers, like the horror movie The Strangers, which is like probably one of the scariest movies I've ever seen, and it was probably one of the first horror movies that I've seen as well. Like it came out when I was in like grade 7 or 8, and I remember going to a friend's basement with like a bunch of people and we all watched it. This book gives me those vibes. It's taking me longer than I had thought it would to read this because I had to finish a bunch of library books before they sucked them back, including A Court of Thorns and Roses. A Court of Thrones? Thrones? Thorns? Thrones. Thorns? I don't remember the name of the book I just read. Well, that's that on that. I'll see you soon. Quarantine, am I right? Laugh.
No.
We literally finished like 30 seconds ago, literally 30 seconds ago, The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Trombley. Yes, it's the middle of January and we still have our Christmas tree up. We're just gonna pretend that we can't see that. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna say much more in terms of synopsis than what I said previously. Cabin in the woods, some people come, some stuff goes down, and it gets very, very dark, very, very violent. There is an apocalyptic element to this book, and there are pieces that hit a little bit on the nose. I knew that it was the lowest rate, one of my lowest rated books, but I didn't look at any reviews, and I do not know how I'm going to rate this. Like, I have a lot of questions that have not been answered. The ending was not quite correct. Like, it just wasn't. But I would say that it was emotive and the writing was really good and like definitely evoked that really feeling. So Ashley over at a little book blog, who's a booktuber who I really like. I think we joined like around the same time and I like a lot of the same books that she likes. So she gave it 5 stars. It said the first book that's really scared me in a while. The descriptive writing really pulls you into this one and creeps you the heck out. But she does say, while I can appreciate an ambiguous ending, I was left wanting a little more for a nearly 300-page book. I think the ambiguous ending would have been stronger if this were a short story or shorter novella. I agree with that. Elias gave it 2 stars and said, what the fuck was that? Kayla from Books and Lala gave it 4 stars. Okay, I'm super torn about how to rate this. I don't think that it merits a 3.28 stars. I will say that. That said, I think like a 3.5, 3.75 is where I would put this. But like altogether, not a horrible reading experience for one of the worst rated books that I own. I don't regret reading that book. We continue on this journey of reading books that are very poorly rated, and we specifically are going to move on to 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl by Mona Awad. This is the lowest rated book on this list. I don't know much about it other than that it is told through the perspective of a fat main character and grapples with like body image and fat phobia and these types of themes. I do not know why it's rated so poorly. Like, I don't know if that rating is an indication of it being problematic, of the fact that people just aren't comfortable reading about things like this. I don't know. I do know, obviously, Mona Awad is also the author of Bunny, and Bunny is also like a fairly controversial read because it is deeply weird and it's just like not everybody's cup of tea. But I really liked Bunny. I really liked Bunny. I gave it 4 stars. Hopefully I can get a good chunk out of this tonight, and it's just over 200 pages long, so it's pretty short. So let's continue on this journey. Hey, just hanging out on the bed with this dog. I wanted to pop in because it's been several days and I'm over halfway done. We are following a fat girl named Elizabeth, from her time in high school to right now. She's about I guess like in her late 20s, and it's basically these different kind of life snapshots, usually connected in some way back to body image and her experience as a person in a fat body. So about her experience with her mother and her relationship with her mother, and like body shame, and with friends and with men. We're kind of like getting to a point in her adulthood where she is dieting a lot and like trying to lose weight, and seeing kind of how people's perception of her and her perception of herself changes. I mean, it's sad. It's like mostly really, really sad. I think like the messaging is important, and like I'm just not totally sure like what the takeaway message is yet. And mostly it's just like a sad story right now, and a sad account of the way that we treat people in bigger bodies. So am I regretting my decision of reading badly rated books? Kind of. I kind of am. I would really like to read a not mediocre book. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this one up. I'm probably gonna do it laying right here. I'm not a good vlogger. We're going for coffee into Little Free Libraries. Minus 23 degrees outside. We love that. Right, Lisa Jewel. At least someone else likes you. Hello! Last night I finished 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl by Mona Awad, and I'm not really sure what to think. When I updated when I was just over halfway through, and I said it was kind of sitting at about a 3-star. I think that it probably ended up for me at about a 3.5 stars, but like a solid 3.5 stars. Before I was kind of like, I'm not really sure I get the point, you know, knowing that this is a book about a woman's relationship with her body, and fatness and the way that we view that as a society. I don't think that it, like the direction it went was surprising, but I do think it was valuable. 3.5 stars, it's not like a 5-star read, but I'm glad I read it, and I'm curious to see what people say about this. And reviews from people I follow. Roxanne Gay. So me and Roxanne Gay are tight. She gave it 4 stars, seeing things around the character not being very likable, and it seems like maybe this book perhaps suffered with a little bit of advertising issues, saying that it's hilarious, sly humor, sparkles with wit. And I think if I was going into this looking for like a funny book, I would be upset. I get that. And I also know that I'm not the best reviewer for this book in terms of not somebody who has experience living in a bigger body. I do have experience struggling with body image, as I think many people do, but if fat reviewers or plus size reviewers are saying that it's grounded in stereotypes, like, you know, I think it's just tough. And I think, I mean, all of that, again, like take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. 3.5 stars is what I'm giving it, and I feel okay about that decision. The final book that is poorly rated, which is Diary of an Oxygen Thief by Anonymous. My friend Kate doesn't like to own things, and she has been like getting rid of all of her books as she reads them, and she gave me a bunch of the books that she was getting rid of, and this was in that pile, and I was like, what is this? Why did you buy it? Where did you get it? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, why would you buy this horrifying looking book with this creepy snowman on it? I don't know anything about this book. It's by an anonymous author. It just looks weird, and it has bad reviews. So I'm honestly kind of convinced that it's like cursed. I'm not gonna lie, I pretty much think I'm gonna hate this. I have no reason for thinking I'm gonna hate this. I just do. I think it's gonna be weird and not in the good kind of way, and I'm very biased. I'm very biased against this book because I just think it looks weird. I don't trust anonymous authors. And the first line of the book is, I liked hurting girls. And honestly, that just doesn't bode well. I kind of just want to get this over with so I can read like a good book. No. No. Hello, it is me. I have returned. I'm here to provide an update of this book. It's not a long book, but I did finish it in under 24 hours. And not because it's a good book. Not because it's a good book. Ah! I did not provide a synopsis halfway through or an update halfway through because honestly, I don't even want to give the screen time to this book. I feel generous even calling it a book because I do not think that something like this deserves to be considered within the realm of literature, if we're being entirely honest. We are following our narrator who has proclaimed that he enjoys hurting women, particularly psychologically, so he details how he is going through life dating these women and then basically emotionally and also other forms of abusing them. Then he meets this woman and she breaks his heart and he's sad about it. That's, oh my God. This is the worst book I have ever read in my entire life. In my entire life. I have never given a book 1 star. 1 star is generous. I would give this fewer stars if I could. It was horrifically sexist and misogynistic. It was like literally horrifying to read, and not in like an interesting, ooh, like let's psychologically unpick this man way, but literally just horrendous. It is classified as fiction, but it totally reads as a memoir, and the fact that this could come out of somebody's brain, I just find deeply disturbing. The fact that the blurbs on the back refer to this as being kinky and artsy and interesting and controversial. Like, no, this is just a shitty, problematic, bad book. The writing isn't good. It's not interesting. I hated this so much. I hated this so much. I have never hated a book as much as I hated this. And the only reason that I finished it was because I wanted to be able to feel super secure in my hate of it. And I do. There was nothing even a little bit redeeming about this book. Felt like I was reading inside the brain of like an incel. Okay, I'm just gonna pop on over to Goodreads and see if anybody else I know has read it, what reviews they gave it, and if I have to lose friends over this. I know the type of person that this would appeal to, and I feel like this would appeal to like this rich white dude who thinks that this is like quirky or pushing a boundary when it's really just crap. 17,641 ratings. Nobody that I know, except for one other booktuber I follow, has given it a rating or seems to have read it. So this makes me feel good because the first couple reviews, the narrator is a pretentious asshole with 0 redeeming qualities. Yes, correct. I will never get back the hours that I spent reading this hot steaming trash. I will bring it to my little free library and I will put a note on it. I feel like I don't know what else to do with it other than that, but I will bring it to my little free library and I will put a note on it that says, be warned. I don't think that this can be responsibly pitched as an interesting character exploration because I just think it's a bad book that makes abusive people seem quirky and interesting. And that's not what's up. Well, that's that. That's that on that. I don't really know how to end this vlog. I can just drink some kombucha and calm down a little bit. Has there been a conclusion, a lesson, dare I say a point to this exercise? I'm unsure. I read 2 mediocre and 1 horrible book. There's like something to be said about books that, giving books a chance that don't have the best rating. Some of my favorite books or books that I've really loved at the very least have had not great reviews or ratings. And I'm glad and grateful that I gave those a chance. But then there are some that I think just have bad ratings for a reason. And actually the fact that this even has 3.2 stars. Okay, I'm done with this. I'm done with it. I'm really in need of reading a good book now. I mean, again, The Cabin at the End of the World and 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl were not, like, I don't regret reading them, but they were not resounding successes by any means either. I just didn't
hate myself while reading them. So that bar is pretty low. Am I glad I did this? I don't know. I think I mostly just kind of feel gross. I think that brings us to the conclusion of this exercise, and I'm gonna go read some books by authors that do not hate women. So thanks for watching this vlog. What do I want you to let me know? I want you to go on your either TBR or books that you've read and tell me the worst average rating book on your Goodreads or your Storygraph or whatever. And if you're planning on reading it, or if you've read it, what you thought of it. And if you've read any of these books, dear God, please let me know. Thanks so much for watching. Happy January. I hope you have a great rest of your month, and I will see you next time. Bye.